After facing death, our hero returns to the past, only to find a legendary master sweeping his yard. His humble servant was once the martial arts leader, and his maid is the world's strongest warrior. But this legendary heroine is strangely clumsy, causing more chaos and trouble than she actually solves. Betrayed by the demonic cult in his past life, he now uses future knowledge to build absolute power. From a mocked fool young master, he becomes a cultivation genius to save his entire bloodline. The legend follows 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒄, young master of the 𝒀𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉 clan, born into a noble family. In his past life, the demonic cult poisoned his mind, turning him into a mindless, bloodthirsty killer. He died in the Great War, but fate intervened, sending his soul back to his younger self. He wakes up on the day he first met 𝒂𝒐𝒅𝒚, the future world-shaking martial master. Young Tian remembers how he once cruelly rejected her kindness and mocked her in front of everyone. Looking back at his arrogant younger self, he feels nothing but deep, burning shame for his actions. To change destiny, he graciously accepts her sweet potato this time, determined to do things right. The potato is scalding hot, but he bears the pain, gifting her a sweet pastry in return. Who knew the world's most feared warrior was such a gluttonous little girl in her youth? Suddenly, her grandfather appears, and Young Tian freezes in shock as he recognizes the old man's face. This humble old man was the terrifying sword sovereign, the legendary leader who once ruled the land. After they leave, Young Tian returns to his clan, fueled by the painful memories of his tragic past. He begins practicing the secret nine-flame solar art, feeling ancient power surge through his veins. He breaks through to the second star realm instantly, vowing never to repeat his past mistakes again. The next morning, Young Tian steps out and is shocked to see 𝒀𝒅 standing right at his door. They weren't supposed to meet for another 6 months. The timeline is shifting in ways he never expected. It turns out both grandfather and granddaughter have been hired as low-level servants for the J family. The future's most powerful warrior is now his maid, and the martial alliance leader is his servant. Young Tian is bewildered. The man who once shook the heavens is now simply sweeping the dusty floor. Meanwhile, the greatest heroine is struggling with his laundry, looking completely overwhelmed by the simple task. She trips over a stone, falling face first as the laundry bucket lands squarely on her head. Everyone watches in stunned silence, while Young Tian wonders if this clumsy girl is truly a future legend. Other maids rush to comfort the crying girl, as her knees are bruised from the nasty fall. As Young Tian prepares to leave, 𝒀𝒅 wipes her tears and starts following him like a loyal puppy. He asks why she's following, and she explains her grandfather ordered her to serve him faithfully. Though she is clumsy, she is incredibly obedient, unlike any servant he had in his past life. Back then, his explosive temper drove everyone away, leaving him isolated and alone in his home. 𝒀𝒅 approaches him gently, smiling brightly as she tries to straighten his messy, wrinkled cultivation robes. Young Tian finds the attention strangely pleasant, until he sees the final result of her hard work. She tied his formal belt into a chaotic, messy knot that looked like a bunch of rags. Sighing, he unties the mess and fixes it himself, while 𝒀𝒅 pouts, thinking she did great. He heads toward the family study, and the persistent little maid follows right behind his heels again. He tells her to stay back and learn her chores, but her eyes immediately fill with tears. She reluctantly obeys, looking heartbroken, while her grandfather watches the scene with a pained expression. Unable to handle her tears, Young Tian promises to bring her some delicious pastries if she's good. The moment she hears pastries, her mood flips instantly, showing how easily she's bribed by food. Everyone is speechless at how quickly a few sweets could win over the future's greatest master. Meanwhile, Young Tian feels a growing sense of anxiety about his upcoming meeting with his father. In his past life, they were strangers, and he has no idea how to act now. His father has summoned him for a reason, but the mystery of the sword sovereign remains. While 𝒂𝒔𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉 stood dazed at the door, the old patriarch suddenly loomed behind like a ghost, startling him. Heart racing, they entered. The elder asked if he'd met the new maid. 𝒂𝒔𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉 replied with stiff respect. He confirmed the morning meeting. When asked for his thoughts, he expressed gratitude for the elder's suspicious grace. 𝒂𝒔𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉 questioned the hidden motive behind this gift. The old patriarch merely sipped his tea, eyes unreadable. Wait for the right time, he said. A heavy, suffocating silence filled the room, chilling 𝒂𝒔𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉 to his core. Panic rose. Did this old fox already know his secrets? Had he already interrogated the girl, 𝒀𝒅? The elder dismissed his worries as trivialities, his gaze shifting to the grander scheme of the clan's future. Tomorrow marks the Nine Dragons Assembly, a sacred trial to honor the blood-soaked blades of the Sword Squad. The warriors who bled for the J clan gather twice a year, a high-stakes event where legends are born. New recruits are chosen through fire. As a direct bloodline heir, 𝒂𝒔𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉 has no choice but to face the storm. The faceless guard delivered the chilling news. The ruthless second elder would be presiding over this year's assembly. Zhu Yang froze. In his memories, that man was a demon whose mere gaze felt like cold steel at the throat. The second elder always looked ready to execute him, constantly breathing down his neck to force him into grueling studies. His unrelenting pressure was suffocating, yet beneath the cruelty lay a desperate wish for the young master to survive. He was more a father than his own, yet the past Zhu Yang was a fool who wasted every teaching. Had he awakened sooner, the upcoming tragedy might have been averted. Meanwhile, the maids were whispering in excitement. "How can she be this stunning?" they gasped. "She'll grow up to ruin the hearts of every man in the province." Zhu Yang called out to Manhwa. Startled, she apologized, her attention entirely stolen by the transformed Xue. Zhu Yang braced for another disaster, assuming the girl had caused a mess. But Manhwa's smile said otherwise. Before she could speak, his breath caught. Xue stepped out, and the world seemed to stop for a heartbeat. Dressed in elegant robes, her beauty was blinding. The young master's jaw dropped at this breathtaking transformation. Seeing his future empress so radiant, his face burned crimson. Xue approached him with a shy, fluttering gaze. She leaned in close, causing the flustered Zhu Yang to stumble back. She had heard the maids praising her looks. With sparkling eyes, she asked if she was pretty. He turned away, unable to handle her pure, radiant light. She's a goddess, he thought. But his pride as a warrior wouldn't let a single word escape his lips. Tucking a lock of hair behind her ear, she asked again. Zhu Yang's heart thundered like a war drum. Steam practically hissed from his blushing face. No curse could be as potent as her innocent, captivating charm. Stuttering like a fool, he barked orders for everyone to move. The cold assassin's soul was melting under her gaze. Oblivious to his internal chaos, she chirped happily, still seeking his approval of her new appearance. He refused to meet her eyes, rushing the party to depart. His silence was the only defense against his racing heart. Xue pouted at his coldness as the carriage began to roll. It was her very first time inside one. "It's magic," she squealed, leaning out the window. "The world is moving so fast, this is incredible." Manhwa chuckled at her wonder. To the girl who lived in shadows, this simple ride was a miracle. "I thought horses were just meat," she admitted. Zhu Yang sighed, turning his focus to the faceless guard outside. "Where is the battlefield?" he asked. The guard confirmed the location. The Heaven's #1 merchant house, Shanxi's most powerful trade hub. The second elder clearly spent a fortune preparing this grand stage for blood. 2 hours until the storm breaks. The guard suggested rest, and Zhu Yang leaned back, closing his eyes. His cultivation the night before had drained him, but peace was a luxury the young master couldn't afford. "Sister, does horse meat always taste this weird?" A voice shattered his focus, and his brief moment of calm. Annoyance flared. Before she could finish her bizarre thought, Zhu Yang shoved a sweet pastry into her mouth. "Shut up and eat," he grumbled. Surprised, she happily chewed away, finally falling into a blissful sugar silence. "She's eating like a piglet," he thought. Manhwa marveled at how easily a simple cake tamed the chaos. Peace at last. Zhu Yang slumped down, his eyelids growing heavy as the rhythmic carriage motion lulled him towards sleep. But the universe had other plans. "Young master, young master." A persistent voice nagged at his ear once again. She woke him just to report the tragedy. The cakes were gone. He groaned, defeated by her bottomless stomach. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 wore a troubled expression, while Manhwa wondered if the young master knew they had arrived. "Ah, right," 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 just remembered. "Is this girl's head filled with nothing but sweets?" Our hero stirred, without Manhwa's voice. Who knows when she'd speak? The young master sat up, realizing the journey was over. Peering out, he saw a bustling marketplace teeming with life as the golden sunset bathed the entire horizon. They stepped down for the great Shanxi festival. Huge crowds had gathered, and 𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒓 instantly caught a scent. The aroma of food was irresistible. Suddenly, a man approached to formally welcome the ninth young master. He introduced himself as 𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒓, vice head of the Heaven One Merchant Alliance, honored to meet him. Our master maintained his poise. "I am 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓. It is a pleasure to meet the vice head. Thanks to the elders and the ninth lady, my first day passed smoothly." But that name sparked tension. 𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒓 offered to lead him to rest, but the young master's mind raced. Was it truly her? Is the ninth lady actually 𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒓 too? Fate was cruel if he had to face that woman now. They followed 𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒓 until his fears were confirmed. A familiar, cold silhouette stood directly in their path. It was indeed 𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒓. Her eyes narrowed in instant disgust the moment she saw his face. Her teeth clenched in pure loathing. It was clear just how much she despised his very existence here. "Greetings, sister," he said. She snapped back, claiming his petty formalities were nothing but a massive nuisance. She mocked him instantly, warning him not to disgrace the clan's reputation during the prestigious Nine Dragons Festival. To her, he was a stain on their noble bloodline. But our hero wasn't about to be intimidated easily. He smiled back calmly. "I shall stay hidden and leave quietly, sister. You have no reason to worry." 𝒂𝒏𝒈 was baffled. How could he remain so unfazed while being insulted so ruthlessly to his face? His composure only fueled her rage. She screamed at him publicly, showing no restraint before the growing crowd. "Who would ever waste time worrying about you?" she barked. Then, her predatory gaze shifted toward 𝒂𝒏𝒈. Sensing the murderous intent, the girl hid behind him. The lady's eyes flashed with a deep, unexplained irritation. She began berating 𝒂𝒏𝒈. "Old habits die hard, don't they? Are you here to cause trouble again?" Confused by her sudden venom, the young master stepped forward. "Sister, what exactly are you talking about?" She scoffed, turning away. "I thought you changed, but a leopard never truly sheds its spots." How pathetic. The door slammed shut, leaving him stunned. Her words were a riddle wrapped in pure, unadulterated arrogance. What was that all about? The group stood frozen as 𝒂𝒏𝒈 tried to break the awkward silence. He apologized for the unsightly family scene. 𝒂𝒏𝒈 laughed it off, claiming siblings often clash like this. "You must be exhausted, young master. Let us head to your quarters and leave this tension behind." But first, he had a request. Could they visit the arena? 𝒂𝒏𝒈 gasped in sheer, wide-eyed amazement. Before them stood a colossal martial arts stage. The scale was enough to take anyone's breath away instantly. "I've never seen anything this massive." Even the young master was impressed by the sheer magnitude of power. Merchants used scale to flex their potential, but this was beyond anything he had ever imagined seeing. Today honored the Sword Squad, but tomorrow held the event everyone craved, the new member recruitment trials. The hype was electric. Fortunately, as a non-combat bloodline member, he was only expected to be a spectator. Just stay back and observe. Surely, nothing could go wrong if he remained a mere witness, right? He tried to reassure himself, but a lingering sense of dread began to crawl up his spine. Little did he know, a shadow from his traumatic childhood was already looming directly behind his back. While they marveled at the arena, a terrifying aura began to manifest. A presence he knew too well. They wanted to soak in the view, unaware that a predator had already locked onto its helpless prey. A voice from the abyss echoed from behind. This time, "You won't be running away, will you?" He spun around, heart sinking. That voice triggered a primal fear he had tried so hard to forget. A massive, familiar hand reached out. It was coming for his head again. Just like in his nightmares. He froze as the hand lunged forward, face turning pale. But the crushing blow never actually came. Instead, the hand landed softly, patting his head with unexpected gentleness. 𝒂𝒏𝒈 watched, completely paralyzed. The second elder smirked, eyes widening in feigned shock. "The little rat who always flees my shadow. Why are you here? You threatened to snap my bones in two if I dared skip out," I replied, masking my true power. A thunderous laugh erupted as he roughly ruffled my hair, treating my head like a common toy. "Who would say such a cruel thing?" he mused. I stared back flatly. "You, elder. Only you." My defiance only fueled his amusement. He continued his rough petting, savoring the boy's rare spark. "Enough, old man," I grumbled. "He's always been strangely obsessed with me, the clan's supposed fool. Perhaps it's because I'm the clan leader's sole heir." Beside us, 𝒂𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉 watched with wide, curious eyes. She seemed entertained, clearly oblivious to the terrifying status of the man treating me like a pup, but leave it to her to shatter the tension. To her, this powerhouse wasn't human, he was a beast. "A bear," she chirped. "I wonder if bear meat is as chewy and delicious as horse meat." She was sizing him up for a stew, unaware she was the one likely to be roasted alive. The elder's gaze shifted. A murderous aura flared, turning the poor girl's face a ghostly shade of gray. Under that suffocating pressure, her bravado crumbled into sobbing apologies. "I'm sorry. Please don't eat me." I stepped forward, shielding her from his terrifying presence. "Elder, you're scaring the locals again." Trembling, she whimpered about never touching bear meat again, her mind lost in culinary trauma. The elder's grin returned. He pointed at her. "So, is this little snack your secret concubine?" I sighed, gesturing to her plain attire. "Look at the uniform, old man. She's just a maid." He shrugged, accepting the explanation. "A bit spirited for a servant, but she'll do for now." His expression soured. "Tomorrow's the Nine Dragon War. Even a spectator like you needs his rest. Scram." 𝒂𝒑𝒈 didn't need telling twice. She bolted toward the house, fleeing the bear's reach. "Hurry, master, before he eats us." I gave a weary nod. "Good night, elder. Try not to hibernate." "One more thing," the elder called out. The girl kept tugging my sleeve, desperate for escape. He made a slow, chilling gesture across his throat. "Flee the battle tomorrow, and I'm a dead man." She whimpered, "The bear grandpa really wants to eat you, young master." Her innocence was almost painful, but the elder's sharp gaze lingered on her back. He sensed a hidden spark within that girl. Dawn broke over the arena. The legendary Nine-Dragon War was finally here, and the crowds were immense. Faceless stood by my side as warriors from every sect in Shanxi flooded the gates. From branch families to rogue cultivators, anyone with a name came to claim their glory. The scale was staggering. Becoming a recognized sword squad member is every warrior's ultimate dream. "Young master," a trembling voice came from behind. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 was clinging to me like a frightened cub. She was muttering prayers in pure terror. Honestly, it was too early for this level of drama. Can we tell the bear grandpa to go back to sleep? Please," she whimpered. "It's spring, 𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒓. Bears don't sleep now." I sighed. "Why didn't you stay in your room?" "The sword sovereign forbade me from leaving your side," she cried. "Orders from my grandfather were absolute." I patted her head. "Relax. If the bear attacks, these guards will surely protect us." Her eyes lit up instantly. "Really?" Faceless, however, looked utterly lost by our bear talk. "Master," Faceless whispered, "I couldn't hope to scratch the second elder. He's a monster. And please call him Lord, not a bear." I smirked at 𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒓. "Well, someone has to be sacrificed. Give up your neck for the greater good, okay?" Her face paled as the terror returned tenfold. "No, this is the end for a 𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒓," she wailed, convinced her funeral was scheduled for noon. I finally took pity on her. "It's just a joke, you silly girl. Calm down." Her tears vanished instantly as she spotted a bun stall. Grandpa said, "Better to die full than hungry." I was at a total loss. Her stomach truly is her only master. But I couldn't help but spoil her. She stared at the steaming buns with sparkling eyes. Even the guards were stunned by my sudden kindness. "You treat your servant with such warmth, young master," one noted. I just looked at her and shrugged. "A mere maid, you say?" 𝒂𝒒 scoffed. "Demanding her master buy her buns?" Preposterous. Yet, visions of 𝒂𝒕𝒅𝒂𝒏 from his past life haunted him, leaving him utterly conflicted. "But you bought them anyway," 𝒂𝒒 teased. The young master's icy exterior was cracking. 𝒂𝒒 tried to argue, but his logic failed him. The Godslayer was truly defeated. 𝒂𝒒 chuckled, realizing this master was nothing like the pathetic fool from the rumors. Appearances are truly deceptive, he thought. Even a legend had more secrets to uncover. "You talk too much for a steamed bun," 𝒂𝒒 snapped, his composure finally slipping. "How did this guard know the rumors?" "He had only been in service briefly. Less than a month," 𝒂𝒒 replied. "He was assigned just before the fateful regression. Was it luck or destiny?" Suddenly, a piercing scream shattered the air. "My lady," 𝒂𝒒 flinched as a maid scolded a noble girl for wandering off alone. "The Nine Dragons Festival is safe," the girl insisted. "The Qiu clan guards everything." That voice. It struck a chord of annoying familiarity deep within his ancient soul. The maid trembled. "But what if we encounter that wretched ninth young master here?" "Wretched? Me?" 𝒂𝒒's eye twitched. Surely there were other sons in this clan. He hoped to vanish, but the threads of fate were already tightening around him. The noble lady barked back at her maid. Impossible. He couldn't be in this crowd. She turned her head, scanning the bustling street, until her eyes locked onto his. As their gazes clashed, 𝒂𝒒 stepped forward. The air grew heavy with tension. Even 𝒂𝒒 sensed the shift, growing wary of the mysterious woman before them. "Young master," 𝒂𝒒 whispered, "it seems they've recognized someone they shouldn't have." He asked if 𝒂𝒒 knew her. The answer was written in the stars. Shoulder-length hair and obsidian eyes. A beauty described only in the most tragic poems. The ring on her finger bore a hidden crest, the mark of the 𝒂𝒂𝒒 clan. Memories of blooming cherry blossoms surfaced. Once, she sat before him with cold elegance. A silent tea room, a lost past. This was his former fiancée, his greatest regret. The marriage pact with the 𝒂𝒂𝒒 family was a simple matter of clan politics. Two legendary families, two heirs of equal age. It was a perfect match on paper. 𝒂𝒒 was the future patriarch, making the alliance a prize for both sides. But the former 𝒂𝒒 was a disaster, a talentless fool who only sought trouble. His arrogance and refusal to train had finally pushed the Ping clan to their limit. "Why are you here?" she demanded. "This is the gathering of the 9 dragons. Am I supposed to be hiding on your roof?" 𝒂𝒒 countered with a smirk. She claimed she had business, yet her tone remained as sharp as a poisoned blade. "Shanxi isn't your playground," she hissed. Zhu Yangtian met her fire with cold indifference. Her rage flared as he spoke casually. How dare he ignore her proper title? "I am your elder," she shouted. He just smiled. "Fine. Whatever you say, sister." 𝒂𝒔𝒕 arrived, carrying a mountain of buns. "Master, I've secured the treasure." "Good, let's go," he said, completely ignoring his ex-fiancée's burning, indignant glare. "Stay safe, Lady Ping." He tossed over his shoulder as the trio walked away. She stood frozen, watching him leave. This wasn't the weakling she had once despised. His warning felt heavy, like a premonition of the blood that was soon to flow. She noticed the stunning maid by his side, a girl she had never seen before. A maid that beautiful? She remembered their first meeting, when he was still trash. "You're just a concubine's son," she had screamed, nearly strangling him in her fury. She lunged across the table. Her face was a mask of pure, terrifying rage. But the Godslayer didn't blink. He smirked and was immediately met with a heavy fist. A direct hit to the face. Her maid rushed in, desperate to stop the carnage. She loathed this forced engagement. Only family honor kept her from killing him right here. "Lady, please control yourself." The maid was shoved aside like a mere pebble. He hit the dirt hard. She loomed over him, chair raised like a divine executioner. "You're dead, you pathetic worm." To her, he was still just a useless fool. "Heavy, isn't it?" he asked. He watched 𝒂𝒔𝒕 struggle with the mountain of buns. "I'll take half." He helped her, while Wu Mian stood by, ready to serve. "Keep your eyes on the shadows. Give the extras to that girl, Manhwa." She watched his back, trembling. A strange, chilling aura was beginning to radiate from him. "Impossible," she whispered. "He's just in a good mood. It's nothing more." Suddenly, a scream tore through the air. The festival's joy was replaced by sudden tension. Even the young master was startled. "Are you unharmed, master?" Wu Mian asked. "I'm fine, but the buns." 𝒂𝒔𝒕 only had eyes for their delicious snacks. "Calm down. Screaming solves nothing." The shopkeeper tried to hold back the chaos. But the man was possessed. He slammed the table, his patience wearing thin. "If I'm caught, you'll pay." He froze as two giants blocked his path. Two towering enforcers loomed over him. The crowd behind them watched the drama unfold. I was joking," he stammered. But the shopkeeper wasn't in a laughing mood. "Release me this instant." "Let's go," the young master sighed, turning away. "The Nine-Dragon War welcomes all, but nameless rats have no place in this arena. Should we ignore this insolence?" Wu Mian waited for the order to strike. "The clan masters will handle it." Small fries weren't worth the Godslayer's time. His fate was sealed. A massive hand gripped the troublemaker's shoulder. Asterisk, crack, asterisk. He grabbed the guard's arm. With a violent surge, he slammed the giant down. "What have you done?" "I've proven my worth," the man grinned wickedly. "Now, let me join the battle." He actually thought this violence was his ticket. The trio watched the display. "Master, shall I end this farce now?" 𝒂𝒔𝒕 was in awe. Boom, bam, he went flying. She cheered excitedly. Her strange language was a mystery. Would anyone ever tune into her chaotic frequency? "Move out," the master ordered. He had no desire for meaningless spotlight. He pushed forward into the hall. But Wu Mian felt a strange, lingering doubt. They'll handle the trash. Behind them, the merchant's roar echoed again. "There are rules here, boy. No identity means no entry to the games." "My fists are my identity," he screamed, his aura flaring with desperate rage. "Do you dare disrespect the Ping clan?" At that name, the young master stopped cold. He couldn't ignore a direct insult. He turned back, eyes sharp as a blade. The true Ping heiress gasped. "A Ping young master? Who is this fraud?" Snow fell like frozen tears. "Brother, what is this madness?" Ning Ahi asked. Ping Wujian flashed a grin. "Just roasting some potatoes in the cold. Sister, in front of my door?" She stared at the sacred tablet in his hand. The fire was dying out. "I figured this old wood would burn nicely." Asterisk, twack, asterisk, a rock found its mark. He clutched his head, crying like a child. "You idiot," she shrieked. "Do you realize what you almost turned to ash?" She snapped, explaining her status as the elite genius of the Dragon Pavilion's martial alliance. Our youngest lord stood there blankly. "Do you have any idea what this prestigious card represents?" "It makes the fire burn brighter," he joked. His sheer idiocy made her blood boil with rage. "You must remember your status as the young master," he laughed. "Status is just a word. I truly can't fathom your thoughts." She sighed, frustrated by his lack of ambition despite his talent. Why are you always so moody, young master? He grinned. I'm not moody, I'm just bored. He looked up at the sky, sighing deeply. I want to escape this world for a while. Take a short trip then, he muttered. He left a note and vanished into the shadows. She crumbled the paper in a fury. A short trip? He's been missing for 4 whole months. The beggar sect finally sent word. We have located that reckless bastard at last. Where is he hiding? She whispered urgently. Shanxi, my lady, why would he go so far? I've proven my strength already, the main character shouted, demanding to join the 9 Dragons gathering. He pressured the administrator. Calm down, kid. We have strict rules to follow here, you know. I don't have time. Do I need to demonstrate the Black Knight blade for you to believe? The crowd gasped in shock. Did he say Black Knight blade? That's the Bin family's secret art. Our hero was stunned. How does he know that technique? Is he truly a member of that clan? An old man approached, sensing a terrifying presence. He knows the secret blade. He's no ordinary fool. Damn it, this is bad. But the old man smirked. His martial arts seemed decent. Let him in. He glared at the elder. I am Bin Vuchan, young master of the prestigious Bin clan, honored to meet the legendary Yama Fist of the 9 families. The old man laughed boisterously. My old nickname. It's been ages. You're in, boy. Don't worry about your status anymore, the guards protested. We haven't verified his identity. We can't just let a stranger join us. He is definitely a son of the Bin family. Look at that face. He's his father's shadow. That aggressive physical build. Only a Bin could possess such raw, untapped power. Look at the black ring on his finger. That alone is absolute proof of his noble bloodline. The same ring as Bin Ahai? Could this man truly be the elusive young master? Now tell me, why would a Bin lord want to join another family's elite sword squad? Why leave your own prestigious clan for this? Bin Vuchan replied with a bored shrug. Because it's no fun at home. The old man roared with laughter at the ridiculous answer. Did your family give permission for this? They'd never agree, so I simply ran away. You ran away from home? The elder laughed harder while the others thought he was insane. Your body is well trained for your age. How old are you? I am 23, he replied, so young yet so skilled. The Bin family is truly raising a dragon among men. The old man looked at his own group. If only my foolish grandson had half his talent, they whispered to Kuduong. Is he calling you an idiot? What even is an idiot? Be quiet. If he truly is Bin Vuchan, then he really is a dragon in disguise. In the future, he will be feared as the Butcher, a monster from the legendary Bin clan. Wait, isn't there another member of that family nearby? Suddenly, a shadow dashed toward them. Senior brother. Vuchan smiled, seeing Ahai. But his joy was cut very short. A devastating blow sent him flying. Ahai's murderous aura exploded, filling the entire area. You bastard. You abandoned your duties and left only a pathetic letter? Listen to me. He tried to block her. If you have excuses, save them for the afterlife, she roared. Save me. He screamed as she pulverized him. Joining another family squad? Are you insane? Stop it, the old man intervened. You're going to kill your own brother at this rate. Forgive us for the chaos our family business has caused the 9 families. She bowed deeply. Forget the formalities, the elder waved dismissively, finding the young man's hidden depth quite intriguing. We'll cover the damages, she said nervously, trying to drag the persistent Ping Vuchan away, but he refused to budge. Are you asking for another beating? Ahai hissed, questioning the elder's judgment. Our protagonist watched the chaos, sensing the growing friction between the 2 clans. The elder smiled. I'll accept for their clan's pride, the elder announced, throwing a sudden challenge at the young master. Survive 10 rounds against me, and you're in. The crowd gasped at the impossible conditions offered. Ahai froze. Was the elder truly losing his mind? Even the protagonist was left completely baffled. 10 exchanges, the elder repeated with a smirk. The mocked fool finally began to warm up. Is that all? He asked. The elder laughed, promising victory if he could merely land 1 touch. Like a phantom, the young master vanished, reappearing instantly behind the elder with Godslayer-like speed. He leaped into the air, launching a surprise assault that defied his reputation as a weakling. The elder chuckled, twisting his frame to meet the boy's strike with a devastating, heavy counterfist. The scene shifted to the grand arena where the clan's future legends were set to clash. It was time for the Crimson Blade to face the supposed fool, young master Yang Tian. Recalling his earlier defeat, the elder let out a long breath, satisfied with the brutal outcome. The spectators stood paralyzed in shock. Did the elder really just use his full speed? I merely dodged, he claimed. insisting the match was fair and his power perfectly controlled. He washed his hands of the fallout, claiming no responsibility if the Ping clan took offense. "I hope you rot alone," the protagonist muttered, while the elder shifted focus to 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓. This was the elder's whim, she sighed, relieved that the troublemaker was finally knocked out cold. She preferred him unconscious over causing more chaos. The elder just let out a boisterous laugh. "I just wanted some entertainment," he roared. Yang stared, fearing for the clan's dark future. How did such an eccentric man become an elder? Suddenly, Tuyet whispered urgently into his ear. "Young master, did you see?" She was vibrating with excitement over the elder's bear-like display. She mimicked the fight with wild gestures, describing the wind and the crushing impact vividly. Yang was speechless. If this airhead was a genius, the world was truly doomed. The elder laughed, praising the girl's sharp eyes and offering her a mysterious reward. He pulled a treat from his robes, instantly winning over the excited and naive Tuyet. Staring at them, the protagonist felt ignored until the elder offered him a gift too. "I don't need candy," he replied flatly. But the elder's gaze turned sharp and serious. "After the Nine-Dragon War, you must enter the ring." The duel was finally set. "No sword?" his opponent asked. He reflected on the nine-flame Qilin power within him. Swords were common, but he realized his fists were the ultimate conduits for his massacre power. His opponent didn't care about his weapon. She was just hungry for the chance to strike. This was her legal opportunity to pummel her own brother in front of the entire clan. Her expression grew twisted with anticipation. The protagonist turned to the elder, seeking a way out. "Why must I do this?" he whispered. The elder reminded him of the festival's prestige. "It was all for the crowd's entertainment. I'll just forfeit," the protagonist decided with a sigh, but the elder's warning glance toward the previous victim made his blood run cold instantly. He realized the trap. They didn't want to fight. They wanted to see him broken. "Yang, the elder asked, "are you really planning to lose this fight today? If the great clan is called boring, it's a joke. That senile fox just wants a twisted show. He forced this duel. Fine, I'll forfeit halfway." But he sensed it, warning me not to retreat. Gazing at his mangled victim, I froze. "He wants me publicly butchered, a loser for all to mock." He looked down coldly. "Yang, do you truly have no intention to win?" Deep silence followed. "A win? This rare chance is too good to waste, yet I won't exert myself here. A duel unknown to my past life." My sister's voice drips with pure, concentrated venom, a mere man born to inherit. Her aura flares, unleashing a wave of absolute hatred. She lunges like a predator. Yang dodges, his counterattack still hidden in shadows. Steel rains down relentlessly. My blade is 3-star. How can a 2-star trash avoid this? She is baffled. I am reading her rhythm, moving a split second ahead of her blade. This pace is draining. I still lack training. How should I end this tedious match? Should I fake a fall? Every strike is a dance with death. One mistake is fatal. Can I survive her blade? All you do is run. Suddenly, she strikes from below. Her blade grazes my waist, tearing silk. I pivot away, as her fury intensifies further. She cleaves my robes in two. Even through this bloodlust, her moves remain entirely predictable. "Sister, stop this," I say. "Even with such killing intent, you cannot touch me." My clothes are shredded by her wind. She mutters, "I tried to accept my fate, denied the airship for being a woman. I bled and suffered to reach the peak. While you lived like filth, yet you take everything. Do you know my agony, trash?" Her soul burns with murderous chi. She coats her blade in raw energy. This is dangerous. She has surged past the 3-star realm. Her sword spins. A whirlwind aimed at my heart. Again? Always dodging. She screams. "You have no strength, no will, only cowardice. If you refuse to struggle, then just vanish." Her face is a mask of broken pride. I watch her despair. Yang falls silent. "Vanish, just like your pathetic mother did." That was her final mistake. I catch her blade bare-handed. She freezes in absolute shock. My eyes burn with a god's cold fury. "Sister, what did you just say to me?" At 15, she was the blade peak. At 20, a 3-star legend of the 5 swords. Her talent was undeniable, yet the clan's laws chained her. She could never be head. The heir is Yang. I never hated her. We shared different mothers, but my mother was kind to her. We were close once. Until that dark day arrived. She vanished without a trace. Father's cold command, "No one shall search for her." Silence followed. My heart turned to stone, and I became the clan's most hated fool. Rumors of my debauchery spread like wildfire, a disgraced heir in the eyes of all. Yet I remained the successor, a man's birthright. I loathe you, 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓. She hates the fool who wastes his life while she battles for every scrap of honor. But my gaze makes her heart stop. She senses a predator from an ancient age. She retreats in terror. But in a heartbeat, I appear behind her like a ghost. One palm strike sends her flying. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 watches, her breath hitching in awe. The same age as me, yet such power? I cannot call myself a 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 anymore. What is she muttering? The servant asks. Did you hear the young lady's words? Impossible, the maid replies. The second elder's barrier blocks all sound from the arena. 𝒂𝒔 Wujin pats her head. With that look, don't shame the 𝒂𝒔 clan name further. Stay at the 9-Dragon Hall until your pride heals. Is he truly her junior? A 3-star genius defeated? The clan head offers an ice pack, his mind racing fast. They whisper of fluid swordplay and perfect chi control executed in a mere blink. Not her. I mean him. That boy. Was he truly just a junior disciple? The young lord is her junior, 𝒂𝒔 confirms. Wujin smiles, eyes gleaming with interest. The Jew clan hides a monster, he muses. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 watches the main character's face. Find joy before the crown weighs you down. He remembers the fleeting freedom of youth. Watching this, her heart sank. It was over. Meanwhile, Zhu Duyan was deep in frantic thought. Just dodge, one opening is all I need, she thought. But young Tian's cold voice cut through. I understand, sister. Hate me if you must. I've lived in shadow, and your words were harsh. But you must understand me now. He struck. Her eyes widened as the sudden attack lunged forward. A single palm strike sent her flying. She collapsed, unconscious. The battle was over. Yang Tian won. He retreated into the Zhu estate. I messed up. I didn't mean to win. Damn it, only 2-star inner power, yet she's bleeding and fainted? He hoped she was all right, remembering her face. Why don't you just disappear? Her words stung. Vo Dian and 𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 rushed toward him. Young master, are you hurt? Are you okay? I'm fine. How is the situation inside the hall? Everyone expected you to lose badly. But you won. The atmosphere in there is total chaos. He sighed. Of course, a useless failure just humiliated a promising genius in front of everyone. The elders rushed to the closing ceremony to calm things. Vo Dian added, catching his breath. So it's still ongoing? We need to leave before the second elder finds us. Let's move. Master, your hand is bleeding. He looked down. My inner power. I still can't fully control it. Suddenly, the girl grabbed his hand to bandage it. No, let me do it properly, master. She fumbled with the cloth, her eyes filling with tears. She looked so confused and heartbroken. I'm no good at this. Please don't get hurt anymore. He watched her, his gaze softening slightly. Suddenly, Bin Wuchan charged in. I won't let the Zhu young master suffer. He was stunned. You were swearing just now. Wuchan laughed. I am Bin Wuchan. Truly an honor, friend. Bin 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 blushed furiously, embarrassed by her brother. Please, brother, we should just go. Since you broke the engagement, it's awkward, right? You two should just make up and reunite. What are you saying? 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 stammered. But Yang Tian interrupted, his voice cold and calm. Why are you here? To make friends. Let's be brothers from now on. Zhu young master. Bin, Anne pleaded with him to stop. Befriending a man like me brings you no benefit, warrior. Wuchan just laughed. Don't say that. Everyone talks about Zhu. Hi, but you're the hidden master. Why was this guy acting so familiar? Yang Tian felt a strange sense of suspicion rising. You mentioned my sister. Do you know her? He watched the man's reaction very closely. Of course, we're very close. Though, I'm not sure if she feels the same way about me. Close enough then. Yang Tian forced a smile. It's late. We're leaving. Bin An hesitated. The day I broke the engagement. Hitting you with that chair was too much. I'm sorry. You called me a concubine's son. I was a brat back then. I deserved that beating, truly. She smiled softly. I see. Don't forget the gift my brother gave you, okay? Goodbye. What gift? He looked down and found a mysterious wooden token clutched in his palm. He watched her leave. Let's go then. Yes, master. But where did that bandage come from? I found it on the ground after eating dumplings. They continued their journey through the night. Late at night, the carriage rattled along. 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒓 slept soundly on Zhu Duyan's shoulder. Tuyet. Yang Tian leaned against the window, staring at the moonlight, lost in thought. In my past life, I never fought my sister. This victory, it shouldn't have happened yet. Since 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 arrived, fate has shifted. Did my small act of kindness change the future? I must move faster than planned. Suddenly, he sensed something. vô check the talisman. The demon talisman? vô pulled it out, smiling. Nothing is happening, young master. See? If the demon gate appeared nearby, this would glow like the sun. You're just tired, master. Suddenly, the talisman flared with blinding light. vô screamed in terror as the air turned cold. Stop the carriage, it's the demon gate. Prepare for battle. Protect the young master at all costs. Yang Tian stepped out, stretching his limbs. Master, no, it's too dangerous. Please, get back inside. Young master, danger is everywhere. vô warning fell on deaf ears. He merely stared ahead with cold, indifferent eyes. Save your breath, he muttered. Look at what's coming. A glowing green rift tore through the fabric of reality. Green meant the lowest threat level, yet a challenge nonetheless. Yang Tian surged forward, striking with lethal precision. The core is their only weakness. The mana stone, the beating heart of these monstrosities. Extract it, and their life simply vanishes. A werewolf lunged from his blind spot. He buried a fist deep into its gut. Found it, he whispered, feeling the stone. But his internal energy was fading fast. Maintaining the 9-flame revolution was a heavy toll. A single slip could lead to his demise. He collapsed, lungs burning for air. Young master, vô voice echoed through the chaotic battlefield. The loyal servant charged like a storm, striking down the savage beasts with brutal efficiency, protecting his master at any cost. So this is his true power? Yang Tian watched his servant's hidden strength. The wolves were scattered in a single breath. Are you injured, master? I'm alive, thanks to your intervention. Is the slaughter finally finished? They were merely low-ranked trash. Dead wolves now littered the blood-stained earth, a hollow victory in a world of monsters. If you were hurt, the consequences would be. Relax, the boy interrupted coldly. It's over. That is all that matters. But suddenly, agony flared in his arm. A searing heat erupted from his veins. A power he couldn't yet control. He fell, screaming in silent torment. I must reach safety. Now. The burden of the Godslayer was heavy. vô turned, his face pale with horror. Young master. What's happening to you? His master lay broken on the ground. What is this hellish sensation? His mind was a storm of agonizing darkness. The forbidden art was finally awakening. The heavenly demonic devouring art. A vision flashed a man standing over 1,000 corpses. One hand to end 100 lives. Why? What did we do wrong? The servant's plea fell on deaf ears. Blood painted the castle walls crimson. The plum blossom soared. Those were the final words before the end. A colossal shadow loomed over the world. The sect leader summoned a monstrous beast. A dragon of pure destruction descended. Plum blossoms? How utterly pathetic. The dragon gazed at the fallen warrior. With a surge of magic, it lifted his body. The cruel laughter of, "You've entertained me, little ant. So, hold your head high as you die." Past and present began to collide. Young Tian's body trembled in the present. Is the flame art purifying this darkness? A clash of divine and demonic energy. This never happened in my past life. He opened his eyes to see worried faces. The cycle of fate had been altered. Young master, speak to us. I'm fine, just an old scar. He lied through gritted teeth. I'll fetch a doctor immediately. No need. Stay your hand. He couldn't let them see the truth. Some secrets must stay buried. If they knew I could absorb demonic energy, the entire world would hunt me down. 𝒂𝒕𝒅𝒚's eyes filled with tears. Young master, you look so hurt. I've felt worse, he replied coldly. My eyes see only shadows. Master, if you feel unwell, we must stop. vô loyalty was a sharp blade. A night's rest is all I need. Move out. The path ahead waited for no one. Destiny was calling his name. Pack the supplies. We leave at once. Collect the monster cores and move. The air was heavy with tension. 𝒂𝒕𝒅𝒚, try not to drool in your sleep. I never drool. You're just making things up, a rare moment of fleeting peace. But inside, he felt a strange void. The demonic chi he absorbed, it had vanished. Was the flame art devouring it? The mana stone was gray and lifeless, completely drained of every drop of energy. Time is running out. I must act. He crushed the stone into dust. They arrived at the bustling town market, a mask of normalcy over a soul of fire. Exotic smells filled the vibrant air. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆 eyes sparkled at the sweets. Young master, look at those cakes. She waited for a treat, but he walked past. Cold as ice, he didn't even glance back. What do you want now? If you won't buy snacks, why bring me? You're the one who followed me, 𝒂𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉. Stop using Grandpa as your excuse. Grandpa said I had to protect you. vô_Dien stepped in to break the tension. Young master, why are we here? Your body is still weak from battle. The 9 Dragons Assembly just ended. Shouldn't you be resting at home? Are you searching for something specific? If so, allow me to assist you. But the master had his own secrets. 𝒂𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉 pouted, her hopes of sweets crushed. She turned away, a trail of disappointment. The 2 men continued into the crowd. I appreciate the offer, vô_Dien, but this is something I must do alone. His eyes scanned the narrow alleys. This path. It feels strangely familiar. What is it, master? Is something there? A sense of déjà vu gripped his heart. 𝒂𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉, go back to the inn. Now. Only vô_Dien comes with me. But why? She whimpered. Return to the 𝒂𝒔 residence. Tell them I'll be back tonight. 𝒂𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉 hesitates. Since she won't budge, I'll bribe her. 10 snowcakes if you leave now. She bargains for 10 more buns. Deal. We shake on it. She skips away like a happy child. Now that she's gone, I turn to Faceless. It's time to move. We head into a narrow alley toward a hidden house. This is the place. My guard warns of danger, but I've already found it. We enter a decaying, desolate ruin. I feared it was gone, but here it is. Master, why are we here? This place feels wrong. My guard's instincts are sharp. Your senses aren't failing you. We open the door into pitch-black darkness. Thugs emerge from the shadows. Who's this brat? Looking for trouble? They see the sword on my guard's back. Should we just kill them? A mob of savages surrounds us. Faceless enters his killing stance. A man with a lantern approaches. Little brat, this is no playground. I stand tall, unfazed. I'm not here to play. I'm a guest. Death lingers in his voice. A guest with a loud mouth? Maybe I'll cut your tongue. Faceless reaches for his blade. Wait, I command. My voice cold as ice. You knew who I was the moment I stepped inside. Don't play games. Are you afraid my clan will burn this place? Call your hallmaster out. The mob draws their steel. Sharp blades glint, ready for a bloodbath. Where did this brat learn such arrogance? How disrespectful. They surround me, but their lack of manners is the real problem here. The lantern man sneers. Kill him. They pounce like hungry wolves. But Faceless is a god of death. His blade flashes, and bodies begin to drop. In seconds, the floor is painted red. The thugs realize their fatal mistake. I may be the foolish young master, but my guard is a walking massacre. Suddenly, a messenger arrives. The hallmaster wishes to see the guest. Word traveled fast. What does that old fox want with me now? Faceless, if they move, end them. But for now, sheath your sword. Follow me, they say. Good. You should have started with that. I walk over the corpses. Master, what's our real plan? Faceless asks. The beggars' sect is too righteous. They won't touch the dark requests I have. My needs are sensitive. Only the underworld can handle this shadow work. If the beggars' sect rules the light, this place rules the darkness. Welcome to the Great Gate How Monday. The cavern swallows us whole. Hallmaster Duong Van Thu greets us. An unexpected noble guest. He purrs. He apologizes for the excessive welcome of his now dead men. Skip the pleasantries. Will you take my request or not? Why seek us lowly snakes when you have the righteous sects? He asks. Because they have morals. You don't. Now, stop wasting my time. He hesitates because of my family name. I understand. Just don't test my patience. Haomon never refuses. For the right price. He finally bites the hook. I reveal a portrait. Find this boy. He's barely 10 years old. Van Thu pales. I must retract my words. We cannot take this job. Another client is already hunting the child's guardian. We can't interfere. I drop a heavy pouch, or perhaps a threat. Is this enough to change your mind? Steel rings out as swords are drawn. The faceless guard stands ready for blood. You swore to avoid violence. The branch leader's expression turns sinister. Did you think I came here to play simple games? What truly matters is the information I hold. Can you prove its worth to us? Only those in a corner hesitate. If you refuse, I shall take this to the beggars' sect. I might even leak the sect leader's secrets to them. His cold threat forces their hand. We accept. How much time? 3 months. Once found, we shall finalize our trade. The two depart. leaving the branch leader in utter despair. This is the mountain's location. A subordinate whispers in doubt. Leader, can we trust the words of this mere boy? He knows secrets even we shouldn't know. He knows our master has vanished into thin air. Observe his guard's terrifying aura. He anticipated everything. This wasn't a mere coincidence. The Nine family must be pulling the strings. Curse it! Vanthu suddenly grips his own collar. He rips away his disguise. May I remove this? I feel quite suffocated in these shadows. No one is watching us. In the House sect, loyalty to the master is a forgotten myth. The master had to hide just to survive. Vanthu sinks into a dark, heavy silence. Their goal was reached. The young master sighs. I almost gave up, but fate was kind. That fragment of knowledge worked. The House sect master has been a prisoner for 5 years. That secret ignited a brutal war. A conflict ended only when the 𝒂𝒚 alliance struck first. The Dark Knight Palace fell, but the master perished. The House sect was nearly erased. I still don't know the palace's exact location. Yet, that tiny clue led me straight here. Negotiating was a struggle, but I must find that man no matter the cost. A boy who rose through the demon cult's ranks. The brilliant strategist, Thien Dulang. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓, I will find and kill him. Even 𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 struggled against his malice. If I don't act now, he will lead the demon cult to absolute world domination. Lost in thought, he hears a voice. Young master, 3 months is a very long wait. News won't arrive until summer. It seems their information network is slower than the rumors. Suddenly, a memory sparks. The Golden River treasure. Wasn't it discovered around this very time? I care nothing for the gold, but the rare spirit elixirs inside are worth a kingdom. Those pills created a monster. A warrior who became the heavenly demon's most lethal blade. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 and that treasure are problems. But Sichuan is far too distant to reach. I have no choice but to abandon it. Finding a hidden vault there is impossible. Let's just buy some sweets for 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂. She looks at him with total confusion. Huh? What are you saying? I am asking if you want to find happiness with me. In the family courtyard, the elders watch. Look at that. Is that a leaf on you? I came because I was worried. Is that old servant the source of his trouble? Hyo-kwan simply smiles at the teasing. Enough laughing. We have work to do. Rage flares as Hyo-kwan crushes the broom. What are you doing, Kuluan? Senior, aren't you playing the servant? Then sweep. You broke it, so use your hair. Are you truly serious? Kuluan picks up the pieces while Hyo-kwan sits deeply. I didn't travel this far just to see a child. Can you feel it too, Senior? 3 months ago he was a coward. Now he defeats his sister with stabilized fire. That isn't just talent, it's a miracle. We cannot simply ignore his growth any longer. I have never seen such a transformation. There is something special hidden inside that boy. If the great elder learns of this, he will act. He may have started already. Knowing that old man, it's certain. Where is the boy? He's being watched closely. At the training ground, a mysterious man approaches 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂. She stands there, completely stunned. Will you come with me? I'll grant you eternal bliss. But that promise of happiness was just a lie. A fleeting dream amidst the falling snow. Everyone, gather round, listen to Snow's story. Are you curious about the truth? I'll tell you. Yesterday, Snow's dream was stained with a dark omen. In that nightmare, she became a monster. Despite her grandfather's warnings, Snow's hands were crimson. She begged her body to stop, yet the slaughter continued. She was a prisoner of her own violence. Just a little more, the victim whispered. Then, a cold blade pierced through her own flesh. I'm sorry, young Thien. Gasping for air, Snow finally escaped the clutches of that waking hell. Terrified, she sought her young master. But the training grounds held a different, darker fate. The master wasn't there. Instead, a stranger stood waiting, offering a twisted kind of happiness. Just as the tension peaked, the young master appeared. His eyes burned with a terrifying, protective coldness. She cowered behind him as his jealousy flared. Back off. This girl belongs to me. Who are you? Who was this arrogant fool? His face flushed with rage, a mere fly buzzing where he didn't belong. Forgive my rudeness, Ninth Prince. The stranger smirked. Oh? So you actually know who I am? I am 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂. I challenge you to a duel. Young Thien could only offer a hollow, bored laugh. I refuse. The world froze. Running away? Absolutely. Are you a coward? You bet I am. How pathetic. Running from a minor spat? Thien shrugged. Eagle eyes. I'm as weak as they come. 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 stood stunned. Why waste energy on a nobody? Thien turned to leave, his interest fading, but as he walked away, a massive, suffocating shadow blocked his path. The great elder had arrived. You've come this far. Why stop now? The air grew heavy. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 bowed in deep reverence. Greetings, great elder Kuluan. The elder's gaze was sharp, like a hawk eyeing its prey. Do you truly not recognize him, Yang Tian? This is the pride of my bloodline. Ah, I see the family resemblance now. The elder's smile was wide, but his grip was iron. You want to fight him? He's a coward, elder. Was this a mere challenge, or a calculated trap? I thought you sought mastery, but you have a goal. This was a deadly game of shadows. The elder's ambition stank. He wanted a useless puppet patriarch he could easily manipulate. Since his last plan crumbled, he was using his own grandson to trample Thien into the dirt. Let me be clear, Thien yawned. I have zero interest in playing your little games. Fight him, I'll lose. I don't think so. The elder saw through the fool's disguise. He's stronger than your sister, isn't he? I'm not interested in being part of your filth. Why fight a battle I've already lost? He turned away, pulling Snow from the den of snakes. Not so fast. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓's hand clamped down on Snow's wrist like a vice. The air turned lethal. A loser like him doesn't deserve you. Come with a real man who can actually protect you. Something snapped. A murderous intent flared in Thien's eyes. Let her go. You want to fight? Fine. To the arena they went. A cold smirk played on Thien's lips. The trap was set. But for whom? This will build your strength. Sure, elder, but if I win, you will grant my request. Why should I grant anything to a brat? The elder laughed, dismissing the boy's sudden audacity. Aren't you the future head of this clan? The elder's voice was dripping with mocking sarcasm. Being patriarch? I couldn't care less. Thien began to stretch, his dormant power shifting subtly. If not the direct heir, then who? The throne of this clan is your destiny, boy. I threw that ambition away in my past life. Why is everyone so obsessed with a crown? Deny me, and I'll throw the match. Snow's heart sank, picturing her master's shameful defeat. You insufferable brat, the elder hissed. Fine, but I have a condition of my own. Win, and your wish is granted. The two warriors finally stood face to face on the stage. Ready to crawl? 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 sneered. Forgive me, Prince, but this won't be a pretty sight. Remember last year? I nearly broke you. And I plan to finish the job today. Bedridden for a month? I don't recall being that pathetic. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 sneered. Beating the second lady was just luck. You're still weak. I don't bully cripples, but a weakling cannot lead this clan. Flames erupted from his body. You're a loser who's about to fall. If I win this, I want a prize. Something worth my time. I want that maid, he pointed at the innocent 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓. A dark smile crept across young Tian's face. Fine. Let's dance. Their auras collided. 𝒂𝒕𝒅𝒓 hesitated. Ladies first. Strike me. Afraid? Of you? Yang Tian's presence began to distort the air. Gravity seemed to double. Fear clawed at 𝒂𝒕𝒅𝒓's throat. Is this heat from him? No. He's wide open. Just a bluff. He's burning his soul to stay standing. He'll collapse soon. 𝒂𝒕𝒅𝒓 sneered, unaware of the monster awakening before him. You gave me the first move. Don't regret it. Yang Tian vanished. The kick landed, sending 𝒂𝒕𝒅𝒓 skidding across the dirt. Before he could breathe, a fist shattered his arrogant pride. Get up. Don't tell me the genius is finished already. 𝒂𝒕𝒅𝒓 crumbled to his knees. I underestimated you. It's not over. He unsheathed his blade with desperate rage. The air grew heavy. Yang Tian knew he had to finish this. I must condense my aura. Physical reinforcement is my only choice. This body is still too fragile for my true power. 7 minutes. That's all the time I have before I break. The 7 scarlet swords, a technique of instant death. Sparks flew as they traded blows. The arena became a whirlwind. His technique was perfect, but perfection is often its own trap. Break the rhythm, break the man. Yang Tian centered his core. 𝒂𝒕𝒅𝒓 lunged for a killing blow. Suddenly, the heat exploded. What is this monstrous pressure? The world turned red. One strike. 𝒂𝒕𝒅𝒓 was sent flying through the stone walls. Do you know what I truly despise? Yang Tian's voice was ice. Mock me, take my title, I don't care. But you. He looked like a god of massacre. You looked at my people. Maybe I should snap your arms so you never reach again. 𝒂𝒕𝒅𝒓 shook in terror as death reached for him. Stop, Yang Tian. The patriarch's hand finally intervened. The arena was a ruin. 𝒂𝒕𝒅𝒓 lay broken in the rubble. You almost killed him. That was supposed to be a spar. The Grand Elder will have your head for this brutality. Let him come. I never wanted this throne anyway. Fool! You are the direct heir. Fate chose you. 𝒂𝒑𝒓 blinked, munching on cake. Is there more food? I'm the boss of the snacks now, stop playing around. Grandfather, she's the one who needs to learn the sword. The sword sovereign's disciple only cared about sugar and sweets. A swordmaster turned maid? I can't recall why her past feels so distorted now. She wasn't always this foolish. This winter. What crucial memory am I missing about her? It's a haunting blank spot. 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒔𝒉 looks at me. Young master. Are you okay? Did you take a head injury? She mocks me, yet calls me her great leader. I flick her forehead in annoyance. 𝒂𝒊𝒔𝒉 sighs. The family matters can wait for now. Rest after that pathetic duel. Wait, elder. I grin, reminding him of his promise. Gold or a feast? Name it. Trash, I reply. With your status, you can do better. 𝒂𝒊𝒔𝒉 groans, sensing a trap. I point west. Take me to Sichuan at once. Sichuan? He gasps in shock. With your influence, crossing the border should be a breeze. He thought I'd ask for riches. Elder, Sichuan isn't a market. I can't just leave. The heir of the Ku family is caged. I need a reason. A mission to justify the trip. The Martial Arms Convention? An annual festival held at the prestigious Dung clan stage. Every great sect sends an envoy to witness the legendary blades forged by masters. It's the perfect cover for Sichuan. You fought that dull duel just for this? I smirk. Just kidding. Give me gold instead. But 𝒂𝒊𝒔𝒉 sees through my lies. His gaze turns sharp and heavy. Dungthin, your hidden ambition is truly terrifying. No gold? Fine, a spirit pill. 𝒂𝒊𝒔𝒉 stands. Get ready, we depart this instant. Behold the elder's true authority. His sudden joy sends a shiver down my spine. Wait, I change my mind, but it's too late. Forced into a journey I wasn't ready for. Emergency orders, no time for reports. Escort the young master to Sichuan immediately. The carriage is ready, but 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒈 stays. Clean the house with your grandfather, little girl. ― bows, opening the door. I'm tossed inside like a confused piece of luggage. The gate shrinks in the distance. 𝒂𝒊𝒔𝒉 and 𝒂𝒑𝒉 wave me off with cryptic smiles. Back to chores, old friend. Me too? 𝒂𝒑𝒉 asks. The young must help the seniors. 𝒂𝒊𝒔𝒉 sweeps the floor, bored. Just us two now. Let me share my heavy burdens. He sent the boy away just to corner the grandfather about that strange girl. The clan head asked for a divine doctor. Someone is searching for a way to heal the impossible. 𝒂𝒑𝒉 remains cold and silent. Fine, tell me about your mysterious granddaughter instead. 𝒂𝒑𝒉 is no ordinary human. Stop right there. 𝒂𝒑𝒉's voice turns into a blade. Watch your words, 𝒂𝒊𝒔𝒉. Curiosity is a dangerous path that leads to a bloody end. Every living being has an aura, a signature of life that radiates from their very soul. But in that girl, I feel nothing. No breath of life, just a void that swallows the senses. If you seek a doctor to fix her, wake up. This isn't a disease. She is enough. Hundreds of spectral swords manifest around the enraged 𝒂𝒑𝒉. She is human, he roars. 𝒂𝒊𝒔𝒉 backs away. If that's your truth, I'll believe it. Protect her if you must. But if she isn't human, what have you brought among us? 𝒂𝒊𝒔𝒉 leaves, unsatisfied and wary. I will shield her with my own life, the old man vows. Live well, 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒔𝒉. Hours later, the sword sovereign realizes the girl has vanished from her bed. Only 2 empty beds remain. Under the moonlight, ― tends to a lonely campfire. Dinner is almost served, he calls out. Food is scarce, the driver warns. Sichuan is days away. Where is the young master? Probably bored to tears. They laugh, unaware of my secret. I'm training, I told them. But my heart aches. I should have brought 𝒂𝒐𝒉 along. A massive explosion rocks the trees. I strike with everything, unleashing a flicker of my true power. I collapse against a tree, gasping. Pathetic. My inner reserves are drained after one move. 10 days of blood and sweat. Yet my progress is blocked by this fragile mortal shell. My duel with Yi revealed a fatal flaw. My internal energy is far too shallow for a true master. I must ascend quickly. The heavenly devouring art. A forbidden technique that consumes demonic stones for raw power. It mimics a spirit beast's core. However, the price is steep. Demonic corruption usually rots the user's soul. Yet, my 9 flames art burns away the filth. I have finally found the ultimate loophole for unlimited growth. I can grow without the madness. Still, using the heavenly demon's forbidden power is a dangerous gamble indeed. I walked that blood-soaked road in my past life. I never wanted to return. Suddenly, a scream shatters reality. Panic erupts from the convoy. What now? I sigh, sensing another annoying headache approaching the carriage area. I approach the source of the commotion. Why is it so loud? I demand, looking at my guard. I pull back the carriage curtain. Inside, a familiar face beams at me. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓? How did she get here? She smiles innocently, rubbing her head. I'm here, young master. She cheers. Let's look back at how this happened. Hours ago, during the frantic preparations, she begged to join. But she was ordered to finish her chores instead. Why was I allowed to go last time? She sobbed. The elders stood firm. Sichuan is no place for her. The Nine Dragons Association was safe, but Sichuan is a death trap. No one can protect a clumsy girl there. Fine, she muttered, hiding in the carriage. The young master will hate a useless servant like me anyway. Suddenly, a mysterious voice echoed inside the crate. Wait. She searched every corner, but the air was empty. Out of nowhere, a phantom hand pushed her. She lost her balance and tumbled deep into the supply bins. Who's there? She shrieked in terror. This wasn't a prank. A cold, divine hand touched her forehead. Her consciousness began to fade instantly. So sleepy, she whispered, vanishing into the shadows of the grain. Apologies, the mysterious voice murmured. Outside, the convoy began to move, completely unaware of the hidden stowaway. Everything is ready, young master, the guards shouted. The hidden entity left a final command. Watch over 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓. Back in the present, she tells her bizarre story. The guards stand in stunned silence, staring at the girl. She blinks, repeating her claim of being possessed. I can only stare at her. Is she actually being serious? So a ghost kidnapped you onto my carriage? I ask. She nods vigorously. Keep moving, I command the driver. The journey continues, but she won't stay quiet. Young master, look. An owl. I remember eating one before. Now it's a squirrel, they're delicious, she chirps. I rub my temples, questioning my decision to let her stay. I should have sent her back immediately. But we've traveled too far, and our rations are already spread thin. She catches a worm and thrusts it toward me. Trade this for a snack? She asks with sparkling eyes. I instinctively dodge the disgusting insect. Her tragic cries for her lost snacks echo throughout the forest path. I ignore her wailing, but then, lethal blue lights streak through the trees. My martial senses scream in warning. I signal 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 through the window. He understands instantly. The entire convoy grinds to a sudden violent halt. I sense 4 murderous auras nearby. Suddenly, one presence is extinguished in a heartbeat. What just happened? A demonic beast lunges from the brush. I channel my inner energy, preparing to strike the monstrosity down. Get back, I roar at 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓. But before I can move, a flash of blinding light severs the beast. A mysterious warrior kills it before I can even blink. She sheathes her blade with terrifying, calm precision. I'm just a lone traveler, she says coldly. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 watches in awe. Who is that beautiful lady, master? My blood turns to ice. My teeth clench in pure terror. Why is that lunatic woman here of all places? Memories of a dark past resurface. I see a man with void black eyes standing amidst a sea of corpses. Are you the only survivor? He asked the silver-haired girl. She wiped blood from her blade with indifference. She spoke of the cult leader's orders. You're insane, the man growled, frustrated by her strange, wandering gaze. Are you even conscious enough to understand me? He barked. Move. Not that way. To the left. No. Right. She looked lost, and I felt a surge of irritation. Stop the nonsense and just follow my lead. As we walked, she asked a chilling question. The sword venerable. Is he truly as strong as they say? Don't overstep, the man warned. The 3 venerables belong only to our great leader's divine will. Is he stronger than the leader? She persisted. The man stopped, the air around him exploding with murderous intent. Enraged, he conjured a sphere of pure destruction. You crazy brat, he roared, aiming it at her throat. Fireball split in 2. She bristled at his reckless display of power. Looking for a fight? Sensing his overwhelming aura, she suppressed her rising fury. Trailing behind the mysterious man, the silver-haired beauty followed him in silence. He glared back. Mention the 3 venerables again, and I will end your life. This way is faster, she countered, vanishing before he could even strike again. Curse it! She arrived in 1 day, while 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 took 3 whole days. Are you heading to Sichuan? If so, mind if I travel with you? No way, he snapped. We aren't going to Sichuan, and you are a nuisance. Is she insane? I have no desire to get tangled in her family schemes. You are a 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓. I cannot let a highborn stranger tag along. Her face fell. Suddenly, a monstrous surge of inner energy shook the ground. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒄 braced himself as she unleashed the devastating Emperor's sword style. An explosion rocked the area. My power is weak, but I am no pushover. 𝒂𝒕𝒄's blade grazed her neck. Is this proof enough of my strength? He scoffed. A Namgung? We definitely cannot travel with such a dangerous woman. Under the pale moon, she sat alone, staring hungrily at a roasted frog. Is she eating? He sighed, remembering her relentless and annoying persistence. I thought she would leave, but she is stalking our carriage like a ghost. Do not interact with her, he warned, but 𝒂𝒔𝒕 was already gone. The little girl was already by her side, happily peeling a frog's skin. He grabbed her collar. What are you doing? Just helping her eat. I said no weird stuff. He glanced at Namgung Phi's sorrowful expression. Why is a precious flower of the Namgung clan wandering out here alone? She blushed crimson. Actually, we were together, but I got hopelessly lost. Just as I thought. Even in her past life, she was completely directionless. We are not going to Sichuan, lady. You are wasting your time following us. Wait, what? 𝒂𝒂𝒕 looked between them, her tiny mind completely blown. What do you mean? She shrieked. We are not going to Sichuan after all. He looked away guiltily. Follow if you must, but stay out of trouble. I am Namgung Phi. And what might your name be, young master? He hesitated, then spat out a ridiculous fake name. 𝒂𝒕𝒄. I am 𝒂𝒕𝒄 of the Ku clan. Man, I actually feel bad now. 2 days later, a flying squirrel. Sister, have you ever eaten one? 𝒂𝒂𝒕 was already out of the carriage, chatting away and slowing them down. Get back in. Can she come too? No, I do not want her here. Ignoring the chaos, he asked 𝒂𝒕𝒄 how much longer until they arrived. At this rate? 3 days. Should we just let her ride with us, master? No choice then. We will rest at the next village and decide everything there. He stepped down, stretching. So, only 1 day left until we reach it? Yes, master. Luckily, no more camping in the dirt after tonight's stay. Can she sleep with us? 𝒂𝒂𝒕 asked. He looked at them, stunned. Get off her back. Why is a noble lady carrying a mere maid? Her feet were hurting. 𝒂𝒕𝒄 hurried off to secure a room. If your feet hurt, use the carriage. 𝒂𝒂𝒕 pouted, refusing to listen. You said I could not. Now stop nagging and let us rest already. 𝒂𝒕𝒄, do you want to come down? A group from the great clan is approaching. Men in matching robes arrive with grim faces. A silver-haired boy rushes forward, frantic. Sister! He grabs her shoulders, eyes wide with worry. Where have you been? The entire clan has been searching for you. Forgive me, she sighs. I got lost. Shame washes over her as she remembers being tied up. The boy's expression darkens. My heart nearly stopped, but who is this girl? He glares at the maid. I am 𝒂𝒕𝒄, serving Master Ku Duong Thien. The hidden godslayer watches silently. The future thunder dragon of the 5 swords, Nam Kung Thien Tuan, a legendary genius. I am Nam Kung Thien Tuan. He bows, masking his growing arrogance. I am 𝒂𝒕𝒄 of the Ku family. A pleasure to meet the dragon. He laughs, but the smile is hollow. You flatter me too much. Traveler. A shadow looms over the boy's face. Why are you with my sister? Killing intent flickers in his eyes. We met on the road to Sichuan. I thought you weren't going there? The air grows heavy with suspicion. Please, stay at our estate. We have plenty of room for guests. It was nothing, the MC replies coldly. No need for such hospitality. He wants no ties with this woman. We'll find an inn and disappear. Master, there are no rooms left in the city. Fate traps them once more. Then we camp. The maid cries out. But we are so exhausted. She plays the victim card perfectly. If the master truly wishes to sleep outside, fine, we accept. Little did they know, the massacre was drawing near. In the original timeline, she slaughters her entire family. The demon queen of blood. Not just her brother, but the whole clan fell. Why is she different now? Their bond seems genuine. Is she like me? A soul hiding its true power? Her emperor sword technique is divine. She is stronger than even the thunder dragon. Why is there no legend of her? Something is rotting within this clan. Thien Tuan approaches, his aura sharp like a blade. A predator marking territory. Did you sleep well, young hero? The MC offers a formal, cold greeting. He intentionally slams into the MC's shoulder. Know your place, you lowly trash. I was going to let you leave, but don't you dare speak to her. I'll cut you in half, and that girl on your back is next. Nam Kung Phi enters the room. Instantly, the boy's murderous intent vanishes. Good morning, Master Ku. The mask of a kind child returns. Let's go eat. He pushes his sister away, eyes turning cold again. They are all lunatics, the MC mutters, a world of hidden monsters. Did you rest well, master? Don't mention those people again. Let's move. Everything is ready for departure. We leave as soon as breakfast is finished. At least someone here is sane. The MC sighs, feeling the weight of destiny. Let's eat and get out of here. I'm sick of this clan's suffocating air. The two girls are already feasting. Forgive my late arrival, the MC sighs. These buns are amazing. Hurry, master. They'll be cold soon. Must I really sit there? Between the maid and the future demon queen. Your place is over there, isn't it? He feels a burning, hateful gaze. Thien Tuan looks ready to commit murder. Jealousy radiates from his every pore. Your brother wants my head on a platter. Phi blinks in pure confusion. The moment she turns, Nam Kung Thien Tuan's mask slides back into place. Even I'm left speechless by his deceit. Whatever your scheme is, it ends here. We won't cross paths again after the martial assembly. Zhu Yang ignores his unfinished meal and stands. I've had my fill of this bitter company. Don't linger. Enjoy your meal, he tells 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒈 before turning his back on them without a second glance. Nam Kung Phi watches him, her expression shifting. These siblings, neither of them are remotely normal. Thien Tuan approaches his sister with a fake smile. Everyone is over there, sister. Why sit here alone? She senses a dark, suffocating shadow looming over him. Sit where you belong next time, she cold, shoulders him. My apologies, he mutters, eyes darkening. Her heart sinks as she watches the three figures fade away. Sister, you aren't finished, he calls out. I'm heading to the carriage to rest, she replies flatly. Thien Tuan glares in silence as Nam Kung Phi boldly approaches Zhu Yang's inner circle. Thien Tuan's knuckles crack with a terrifying pop. I despise those who crawl where they don't belong. Zhu Yang sighs, sensing the shadow behind them. Why do you persist in following us, lady? I'm not following, she retorts coldly. I'm simply traveling the same path as you. He feels Thien Tuan's murderous aura erupting from behind. This is becoming a massive, soul-draining headache. You have your own people, he questions. So why have you invaded our carriage? Because 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆𝒓 invited her, the girl chirps. Zhu Yang's temper flares at the sudden betrayal. Both of you, get out this instant. Peace, young master. We've finally reached Sichuan, Vodien whispers. The bustling streets of Sichuan finally emerge, home to the Tang clan, the legendary masters of poison. The Nam Kung rule with the blade, the Habak with raw force. Every clan has its pride, its blood-soaked legacy. The Murong flow like water, but the Tang, they are the undisputed sovereigns of hidden death. No one in the Central Plains dares challenge their lethal arts. This assembly is merely a stage for their terrifying confidence. Zhu Yang rests his chin, lost in calculation. 3 days remain. The legendary treasure must be found. His only clue. The hoard lies somewhere in Sichuan. But this city is a vast labyrinth of secrets. The weight of his mission grows heavy. Meanwhile, 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒈 skips ahead, oblivious to the coming storm. A small smile escapes him, but the burden remains. He cannot afford to fail this hunt. If I lose this trail, the treasure falls to others. The thought of relying on the beggar gang is unacceptable. Lost in thought, a sudden presence freezes him. Then you'll just have to search every corner, won't you? Zhu Yang jumps, it's only 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒈. Young master, look, fireflies dancing under the moon. He gazes at her radiant innocence, wondering. Why can't I find even a moment of such peace? There's a beautiful lake nearby, Nam Kung Phi suggests. Before he can refuse, 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒈 is dragging him along. They reach the water's edge, a sea of glowing light. The moon reflects on the surface like a silver blade. Zhu Yang breathes in the night air, feeling his tension ebb. This world, it still holds such breathtaking mysteries. Young master, guess where I'm hiding? 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒈 vanishes into the tall grass with a giggle. Stop playing around, he sighs, yet his heart softens. I only wanted to see you smile, young master. You look so troubled. I just wanted to help. Her words pierce through his cold, calculated exterior. Perhaps. Talking to you will clear my mind, he admits. 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒈 beams, her eyes sparkling with joy. If a great treasure was hidden in this vast land, how would you track it down? Why hide it at all? That's just mean, she pouts. He sighs. He didn't ask for a moral lecture. Suddenly, a voice cuts through the night like cold steel. State your names. Trespassers are not permitted here. A woman with hair like jade and a gaze of ice appears. Zhu Yang recognizes her instantly, a legend of the Tang clan, the one who stood alone against 1,000 demons. Who are you? Tang Suniet demands, her aura flaring. Visions of a past life flood Zhu Yang's mind. The poison phoenix, broken and bloodied in a dark abyss. "Is it finally over?" the blind woman had whispered. Her legacy was shattered, her people long gone. "Why stay?" "You're protecting a graveyard," he'd roared. His hand tightened around her throat, ending her struggle. "I've come to take your final breath," he'd declared. She had only smiled. A smile of tragic relief. Had he truly lost his mind? With a gaze of ice, he ended her life, his hands stained by a bloody past etched deep within. But now, standing before him, 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆 was just a vibrant young girl, a far cry from the woman he once slaughtered. Suddenly, 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆 appeared and whispered in her ear, causing 𝒂𝒕𝒆 to pale and bow in apology for her outburst. Zhu Yang replied with calm grace, introducing himself as 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆, while apologizing for his delayed response to the young lady. 𝒂𝒕𝒆 questioned why the Zhu young master was in this restricted zone, but 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆 quickly stepped in to intervene. He claimed the bloodline granted him entry, making 𝒂𝒕𝒆 scoff at his stinginess before she turned to make her grand exit. Zhou Yang gave a cold, faint smile and bid them farewell, walking away with Shui while leaving the two behind. Staring at his retreating back, 𝒂𝒕𝒆 fumed with annoyance, calling 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆 the most impolite man in the entire family. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆 teased her for her terrifying gaze, but 𝒂𝒕𝒆 sighed, claiming she loathed men who relied only on looks. 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆 pondered that while a handsome face was fine, a warm and kind heart was far more vital for a man. 𝒂𝒕𝒆 turned to leave, whispering that a bit of beauty was still better, as their silhouettes faded into the dark night. The scene shifted to the early dawn, where birds chirped softly as the sun rose over the quiet and ancient branches. With the soldier combat festival tomorrow, Zhu Yang decided to practice, stepping outside just as the morning light hit the door. He was startled to find 𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒆 and 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒆 waiting, wondering why they had returned to bother him. When 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒆 mentioned rice, Zhu Yang was baffled, confused as to what kind of meal they were talking about. 𝒂𝒕𝒆 explained that the Tang sect had invited him to dine, as his sister thought it best if they went together. Zhu Yang tried to play the shy fool, telling them to get lost since he had no interest in joining their banquet. However, 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒆 pretended not to understand, and 𝒂𝒕𝒆 suddenly grabbed Zhu Yang's hand with a firm, forced grip. Zhu Yang's patience snapped as he asked if they intended to use brute force to make him comply with their invitation. Suddenly, a crushing aura erupted from his body, sending a wave of terror through 𝒂𝒕𝒆, forcing him to let go. To hide his hidden power, Zhu Yang switched to a friendly smile, claiming he would go since they insisted so much. He wrapped an arm around 𝒂𝒕𝒆's neck and whispered for him to control his face since his beloved sister was watching. 𝒂𝒕𝒆's face twisted with hidden rage, his eyes filled with a murderous glare as he tried to maintain his composure. Gritting his teeth, 𝒂𝒕𝒆 thanked him for agreeing, to which Zhu Yang replied mockingly that he simply couldn't refuse. They arrived at the banquet where Zhu Yang realized Sichuan food was infamously spicy, wondering what he could possibly eat there. He stared at the table in stunned silence, while the host, Tang Zhouyi, invited everyone to enjoy the grand feast. Zhu Yang hoped the buns would be safe, but he was shocked to see bright red buns for the first time. Just as he prepared to take a bite, he noticed 𝒂𝒕𝒆 staring at him with a strange and unsettling intensity. He wondered what was wrong with her, remembering how she looked at him exactly like this in his previous life's memories. Must he endure that same haunting gaze in this life too? Exhausted, he finally took a bite of the fiery red bun. Immediately, an explosion of spice hit his tongue, making him want to scream as his throat burned with searing heat. 𝒂𝒕𝒆's expression grew even stranger as she watched him struggle, while someone quickly offered him a cold cup of water. Zhu Yang desperately grabbed the cup and thanked her, noticing the others were busy enjoying the non-spicy dishes nearby. When the young lady mentioned a dish wasn't spicy, Zhu Yang's face flushed red, causing him to speak back quite bluntly. 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒆 gasped in surprise, while 𝒂𝒕𝒆 was so consumed by jealousy that he snapped his chopstick in half. Zhu Yang noted the broken utensil, but 𝒂𝒕𝒆 quickly lied, claiming he simply used too much strength while holding it. Suddenly, 𝒂𝒕𝒆 sat beside him with a blushing face, and a heavy, awkward silence fell between the two of them. Zhu Yang asked if she had something to say, causing her to jump in surprise as she hesitated to find words. Just as she was about to ask if he liked something, 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒆 rudely interrupted to talk about the grounds. He asked if the area nearby was the training field, and the sect leader confirmed it was reserved for bloodline members. Despite being kept clean, no one used it anymore since everyone had their own private spaces to hone their arts. 𝒂𝒕𝒆 smiled and suggested they all go see it, assuming their private conversation had already come to a natural end. Zhu Yang watched him with suspicion, wondering what hidden scheme that man was cooking up behind his forced, friendly smile. They arrived at the massive training grounds, where the sheer scale of the place was enough to leave anyone completely breathless. 𝒂𝒏𝒈 remarked that their ancestors loved grand things, though he didn't quite understand the purpose behind such a space. She used to bully me relentlessly, but now that she has grown, she avoids my gaze. The girl blushed deeply, but I remained indifferent. Thank goodness he is not my real senior. Since we are full, let's walk it off. I barely ate, yet 𝒂𝒏𝒈 grabbed a sword. He challenged me to a duel. This arrogant fool's eyes revealed his true, malicious intentions. He wanted to humiliate me, but I played along, acting like a mediocre fool against him. Suddenly, 𝒂𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉 screamed for him to stop. She feared our massive gap in skill levels. She worried about my face getting scarred. I was baffled. What is wrong with this girl? 𝒂𝒏𝒈 smirked, promising a simple spar without using any internal energy. How very generous. His gaze turned sinister. A training session without energy? Who does he think he is fooling? I approached him with a chilling look. Are you even qualified to teach me anything at all? The young lord defended him, calling 𝒂𝒏𝒈 a senior. How could I speak so rudely? 𝒂𝒏𝒈 stopped him, eager to test my power. Let's see how much talent you truly have. His dark aura exploded as we entered the courtyard. The air grew heavy with impending doom. He offered the first move. I told him to stop talking and just start the fight. 𝒂𝒏𝒈 gnashed his teeth in fury. Fine, I will not hold back against you then. He lunged like a wild beast, but I effortlessly slipped past his blade with a smirk. His first strikes were mere distractions. The true, lethal dance of the blade begins right now. He aimed a low blow at my legs. 𝒂𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉 watched, trembling as she remembered her past. She was never a normal child. While others played with pets, she hunted deadly mountain beasts. She chased wolves and tigers, drawn to the sight of fangs and raw, primal killer instinct. Weakness disgusted her. She craved a strength that could suppress the entire world with one gaze. Because of her wild soul, no ordinary man could ever satisfy her heart. Until this moment, she dreamt of a man like a wolf. Someone to finally conquer her untamed, feral spirit. 𝒂𝒏𝒈 tried to woo her, but she only sighed at his soft and weak appearance. She wanted a god among men. Finally, her eyes landed on her true, destined match today. That man was the young master, 𝒂𝒏𝒈. Her heart stopped at his overwhelming presence. Her face flushed red. Why is my heart beating like a war drum? This is impossible. She tried to deny it, blaming the morning air. Surely, he is just another spoiled brat. But the next day, she was even more captivated. His sharp gaze was like a divine blade. Even drinking water, he looked legendary. She sat by him, unable to look away for once. I asked if she had something to say. She froze. Her words caught in her throat. She hesitated, but a thunderous impact on the ground shattered the peaceful moment instantly. The dream ended. We were pulled back to the brutal clash unfolding before our very eyes. 𝒂𝒏𝒈 stood gasping, his sword shattered. I stood there, wearing a mocking, cold grin. 𝒂𝒐𝒍𝒊𝒔𝒉 fell to her knees in shock. How could a master's blade break like glass? 𝒂𝒏𝒈 realized his feints failed. He had used every ounce of his hidden, dark strength. I looked down at him. In a real war, you would have died 3 times already. I raised my fist, ready to crush his arrogance. I will strike you down right now. He scrambled away like a pathetic dog. You coward, attacking an unarmed man, he screamed out. I told him to grab another sword. Let us see what else you have, little senior. I mocked him, asking for a lesson. 𝒂𝒏𝒈's face twisted in pure, unadulterated, burning rage. He grabbed a new blade. I continued to taunt him, playing with his crumbling sanity now. His eyes turned bloodshot. He was losing himself to the madness of this absolute humiliation. He broke the rules, channeling forbidden energy. I did not flinch. Do you want to die? The air exploded with sword chi. It was impossible. The massacre has only just begun. 𝒂𝒏𝒈 watched in horror. How could this fool possess such overwhelming power, effortlessly shattering his lethal sword ki? Enough of your arrogance. Our hero snapped. He lunged forward, delivering a devastating, bone-crushing kick to the villain's groin. The spectators gasped in absolute shock. Namkung 𝒂𝒏𝒈's face turned ghostly pale as his world began to crumble. A sickening crack echoed through the air. That unexpected strike didn't just hurt, it shattered the noble's very soul. The bully collapsed, trembling in agony. Crouching beside him, our protagonist sighed at the pathetic sight of his fallen foe. Is only one left now? He mocked playfully. 𝒂𝒏𝒈 let out a blood-curdling scream, his pride dissolving in pain. Still shouting? At least your bones aren't broken, he muttered. The villain could only hiss, cursing his opponent's ruthlessness. You call yourself a martial artist? I'll make sure the world knows your shame until you can't face anyone. Rage flared in the villain's eyes. Our hero leaned in, voice chilling. How many lives have you taken? Dozens? Terror gripped Thien Tuan. As our hero seized his arm, a fresh wave of excruciating pain silenced his panicked lies. The young Lord Duong rushed forward, desperate for peace. Stop. Please, young warrior, end this duel before it's too late. He didn't just use ki. He radiated pure murderous intent, our hero countered. Was that just a childish mistake, too? Duong warned of the Nam Kung clan's vengeance. He is their blood. Continue this, and a catastrophe will surely follow. I've been patient only because of his family name, he replied coldly. Would he have shown me the same mercy? Duong hesitated, unable to answer. With a heavy, defeated sigh, the young lord finally turned and left the scene. While Thien Tuan whimpered, a flicker of worry crossed our hero's mind. Had his revenge gone a step too far? If the second elder saw his son this battered, chaos would erupt. Yet, our protagonist remained calm and calculating. I'll just explain the truth, he thought. The world saw them strike first. Perhaps the elder will praise my strength. Suddenly, a delicate hand gripped his arm. He turned to find Nam Kung Phi, staring with intense, piercing curiosity. Tell me your true name, she demanded. He shook her off. I already told you. I am Nine Yang. Liar, she whispered. Was she seeking vengeance for her fallen brother? Our hero avoided her mysterious, unwavering gaze. She seemed indifferent to her disciple's defeat. Again, she seized his hand, demanding his real identity with strange persistence. Irritated by her informal tone, he sighed. Must you always speak to me with such lack of respect? Nam Kung Phi looked away, blushing. If you tell me, will you promise to stop following me everywhere? She nodded like an obedient child. After a moment's silence, he finally revealed his name. Sealing their secret pact. Nine Yang Thien, she repeated softly. After thrashing a Nam Kung heir, his future in the alliance was gone. Forget the alliance, he decided. This gives me more time to hunt for the legendary hidden mountain treasure. Exhaustion weighed on his bones. Suddenly, a familiar voice boomed. Young master, I heard you fought a Nam Kung. From now on, I'm sticking to you like a shadow to ensure you don't cause more legendary trouble. He groaned, imagining the lecture ahead. Meanwhile, Lo Dian was frantically searching every room of the inn for him. He found only Tuyeta waiting. Where is he? Have you seen the young master? He's vanished without a trace. I have no clue, she replied blankly. Lo Dian panicked. The master had missed his important morning breakfast meeting. He hadn't returned all day. Tuyeta, however, was far more focused on the delicious food left on the table. She gazed toward the distant mountains. Centuries ago, the Kim Shuyen family ruled as the supreme merchant martial clan. They vanished in a bloody war, leaving only rumors. Their vast treasure was said to be under a white maple. Our hero finally reached the location, but no maple tree appeared. Could the legends be nothing but lies? It's not even autumn, he grumbled. The tree likely rotted ages ago. This must be a trap for fools. He looked at the stars. Climbing mountains while starving. I suppose hunger is just another form of harsh cultivation. Suddenly, Tuyeta appeared like a phantom. Are you hungry, master? She offered a bag filled with savory treats. He accepted it with a grin. Perhaps raising a little pig like you has its practical benefits after all. I am not a pig, she pouted. He laughed, asking if her entire bag was just a portable pantry. Yes, I'm useful, right? She beamed. Then reality hit. Wait, how on earth did you follow me here? She smiled mysteriously, staying silent. They decided to camp. So, everyone back at the inn is searching for me? And you followed me all this way just to find me? He asked. Tuyeta nodded her head happily. He looked at her, wondering just how much chaos he had truly left behind at the Kim Shuyen estate. How did you find me here? I growled. But Tuyeta just smiled. Sit, young master. Dust in the food was the least of my concerns. The white maple remained hidden. A summer maple is impossible, I muttered. She insisted it was right before us. My eyes widened. Did this girl possess secrets even a godslayer couldn't see? You saw it? I demanded. She nodded, claiming we were looking at it together. Confused, I followed her gaze. She was beaming with an unsettling, pure joy. All I saw was a withered, leafless trunk. This dead thing is the legendary tree? She was serious. Angered, I told her to leave before my patience snapped. Check your eyes, I hissed. This barren wood looked nothing like a divine maple. But it's white, she argued. I sighed, regretting ever trusting her strange instincts. She protested, but I was done. My time was precious, and the clan awaited. I felt like a fool. How could I find the treasure in this endless wilderness? Maybe training with the second elder back at the Wu clan was better than this. Harsh or not, I needed power. Then, I sensed a distortion in the very air. "It's a trap! Get back!" I lunged toward her, my killer instincts screaming. Her hand touched the bark. Suddenly, the world tore open with a deafening roar. Space fractured, revealing a hidden paradise. The white maple stood in full glory. "See?" she chirped. I stood frozen. The dead tree was a mere spatial illusion. This wasn't just a tree. It was a sealed realm. How did she know? "What did you just do?" I asked, my voice trembling with newfound suspicion. She tilted her head, acting innocent. "Did I do something special, young master?" No answers. I sighed. The tree was real, but the treasure was still missing. Behind the trunk lay a void, a deep, abyssal hole that reeked of ancient secrets. "The entrance!" I realized, but 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒈 had already plunged into the darkness. I cursed and jumped after her, unaware of the shadow stalking us from above. I landed, my soul humming with killing intent. "Stop being so reckless," I warned. 2 paths lay ahead. The treasure was close. I could feel its pulsating energy. "Which way?" I asked. She pointed left without a single second of hesitation. I was skeptical, but her luck had proven legendary. I decided to trust her. She giggled, teasing my obedience. I just glared, focusing on the path ahead. Silence fell as we descended. But we weren't alone. A predator followed our steps. The walls felt like they were closing in. The light was dying. Is this wrong? Fear pricked my skin. 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒈, are we lost? She didn't even flinch. "Trust me," she whispered. My blood ran cold. But we pushed further into darkness. "We're here," she cried. I looked around the empty stone chamber, feeling deceived. Faint blue glows pulsed on the walls. No gold, no artifacts, just hollow silence. Suddenly, her grip tightened on my shoulder. "Young master, look." Over there, a massive, white monstrosity emerged. An ancient guardian. Our true nightmare had begun. What happens next? Like and subscribe to see the Godslayer unleash his hidden power.